Happy Monday out there, Team 42. It's your skipper here, Darius Dale, to present our macro minute for Monday, April 15th, 2024. Happy Jackie Robinson Day out there. Obviously, pretty near and dear to my heart. Check out my tweet from earlier on that to understand why. So let's just hop right into, as always, our executive summary from today's leadoff morning note. If you would like to see the analysis supporting these conclusions, as well as what to specifically do about them in your portfolio, you need to be a client of 42 Macro. So today's key macro event is the U.S. economy remains resilient amid a complicated geopolitical environment. So the nuance there is the March retail sales release supported our resilient U.S. economy theme with dual beats and accelerations across the key categories. Elsewhere, Brent crude oil is down 1% today after the Iranian mission to the UN said the recently escalated skirmish with Israel can be deemed concluded. Fourth turning era geopolitics continue as the U.S. and U.K. banned deliveries of Russian aluminum to the CME and LME. Aluminum rallied sharply to a record high on the news before pairing gains. Meanwhile, Samsung received $6.4 billion in grants to boost chip production in Texas, focusing on 4nm and 2nm logic chips. So the market implications there. In the reflation market regime during the fall of 2020, we argued that both Biden and Trump were not very different from the perspective of their populist policies and the outlook for rapid growth of fiscal deficits and debts. We'll make the case again here today. Stay short duration in the Treasury market. T-bonds are no safe haven in the context of a no landing being the highest probability economic scenario for the U.S. economy over the next 12 months. As always, transitioning to our 42 macro dashboard here. As always, we'll wrap up with a question from our community. This one is asking about the market implications of an Iran drone attack. So this is from Saturday. I want to say Bitcoin prices are dropping immediately, implying a risk-off market regime. What impact will the USA's involvement cause on markets? So reading the question here, says, I remember hearing stories of hedge funds developing algos that analyze news reports and gave them rankings based on keywords to assist trading. I'm not sure that how that data can be quantified and given values on a spreadsheet, but the outcome could be different than the initial report, i.e. no damage from the drone attack. So so just kind of not much of a question here, but I'll try to do my best to kind of address it. So the reality is obviously we had the knee-jerk reactions response and things like crypto markets over the weekend. We're seeing a bit of a retracement to the upside as a function of that, given that the damage was limited. I think most of the missiles got intercepted. I don't think anybody died in the attack. So I think it was kind of a quick tit for tat to just let Israel know that, hey, if you guys want to pop off, things can pop off and go in a really negative direction in a hurry. But for now, it looks like things are contained. But the reality is no one here, especially if you're listening to me talk, should not be basing their portfolio construction decision-making process on geopolitics. Very few investors in the history of investing have proven to have sustained success using geopolitical frameworks in terms of guiding their investment decision-making. One of the things I think we do very well at an extremely high level here at 42 Macro is being dispassionate about our risk management process. If the market regime transition to something that's more bearish than it currently is, then obviously we're going to dispassionately pivot and make all the recommended pivots in our portfolio as a function of that, because again, we have a market regime nowcasting process that gets clients in early at the beginning of the moves as opposed to late. And while we're on the subject, one of the reasons we think about the world, think about portfolio construction in terms of factor bets and the types of risks you want to be taking from the perspective of our regime segmentation process, is because it generally keeps us on the right side of market risk. There's obviously, some we're not perfect. Market regime, that process is not perfect. No process is, but our process is more perfect than most in that regard. And because, one of the things I think we do at a high level in terms of keeping our clients on the right side of market risk is helping them avoid the three biggest mistakes investors make when they're investing. Number one, so these aren't in order, but just the three mistakes are ignoring a market regime phase transition. Number two would be responding late to a market regime phase transition. And then number three, the one that I see made most often, and more importantly, the one that I think causes the maximum amount of pain for the average investor, is incorrectly anticipating a market regime phase transition. So going back to the question here, the question reads, Bitcoin prices dropping immediately, implying a risk-off market regime. Well, when I refreshed our market regime nowcasting process this morning, we are not in a risk-off market regime. So, isolating one factor, one variable like Bitcoin, or just isolating one series of catalysts like, Iran bombing Israel and saying, oh, therefore we must be entering a new market regime. That's just a really dangerous way to invest, quite frankly. And I would caution everyone from investing like that and responding emotionally to headlines like this. This is when you need a systematic, dispassionate, institutional macro risk management processes days like today, so that you don't make terrible decisions in your portfolio. They're going to cost you lots of money. So we'll wrap it up there. Darius Dale presenting our macro minute on Monday, April 15th, 2024. Happy Jackie Robinson Day out there to everyone who believes in equality. Happy Jackie Robinson out there. Jackie Robinson Day out there to everyone who believes in equal opportunity. So we appreciate you guys. I'll catch you back here tomorrow. Cheers.